What's up, fishing fanatics? So for now, this will be my last breeding video I do, and I'm sure you're probably a little tired of hearing the word breeding, but I'm just covering the basis of what we've bred so far, and we've also bred angels and what have you, but I don't have a breeding pair of angels anymore. We kind of sold them off, and I've got to get some other ones going, which we have mated pairs, but haven't moved them yet. But these are the koi swordtails. If you haven't seen any of these guys yet, you can check out on our other videos. We have 2 tanks of them. We've sold off, I want to say 5 trios of them already. And we moved these guys into the 55 gallon. We also have another 20 gallon that's going, but what we're going to do is we're going to get a majority of the smaller ones in here and just let this be a grow out tank for now. If they breed in here, great. If they don't, they don't. But we're going to separate them out where we're going to have a couple of trios and we'll let them do their thing. And when we notice fry, we're going to move the fry out into a separate 20 gallon tank that we have set up for fry grow out. And then once they hit adolescent age, they'll go in here, or adolescent size, they'll go in here and finish growing out until we sell them. Which there's quite a few more in the other tank yet. This was just one of the tanks that we had. And as you can see, there's probably about 10 of them or so in here. Maybe a few more. But breeding any type of swordtail is pretty simple. They follow kind of like the whole guppy, molly, platy platform. Set them in, last coverage, let them do the thing. They are live bearers, same concept applies as all live bearers. They gestate for 30 days, they have their fry, the eggs are fertilized in their stomach. Once they're fertilized, 30 days, they drop the fry. If you have a ton of coverage, a lot of the fry will make it. If you don't have a ton of coverage, not a lot of the fry are gonna make it. Pretty straightforward. And I'm only covering these because they're swordtails versus guppies. Even though they're similar to guppies, they are more aggressive than guppies when it comes to eating their young. They do kind of chow a little bit more, so you have to make sure that you try to keep them as well fed as possible. And on top of that, you want to try to separate the adults out as soon as you have a batch of fry, just so you have a higher survival rate. We haven't needed to do that just yet. We haven't been proactively breeding them. We're kind of letting them do their thing. And as we notice the fry, we pull them out and let them grow, but we haven't separated anything out, which we're going to be doing pretty soon to get more active into these guys. But you can see there's, like I said, there's probably about 10 or so in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, about 10. And I believe that there's like another 10 or so that are in the other tank. So out of 1 trio, 2 trios, we've had about 40 fry that we've actually had total. We've had batches that haven't made it because we left them in the tank, didn't get to them in time. But they are more actively aggressive in eating their young than like guppies are. So it's something to be mindful of when you're breeding these guys. But the males and the females will just breed naturally. A majority of these in here look like they're females right now. I know that we did sell off quite a few of the males that we had in this tank when we went to the auction a couple months ago. But the males will have a superiorly long sword that comes off of the back fin. So the females will have a rounder abdomen and they will have a flat fin tail. Whereas I can pop over here real quick and show you. There's the male right there. You can see the sword coming off the back of it a little bit. And I have another sword in here that's another male that's actually really nice. He's probably hiding right now. They all tend to hide in the moss now. Little buggers. Drives me nuts. Yeah, I don't see him. But anyways, that's one of the prime examples of the male. You can see the sword starting to form on the back of his tail. That was one of the younger ones that's still getting a little bit bigger. And there's one of the females that's pregnant again. So I'm gonna have to watch for her now. But there are quite a few more in here. I just don't know where they are. which is really odd. Unless you'd moved them already. Maybe we had less than I thought we did. Huh. Odd. I'll have to double check on that a little bit later. But anyways, back over here. So again, breeding them is pretty simple. Males and females together. And once you do that, it's 1 male to 2 female ratio usually works the best, a trio. Again, same concept, 2 females to 1 male, because the male will chase the female around, wear out, she'll become very tired, more likely to get sick and develop some sort of disease, and then she can die off, which you don't want to have happen. So put an additional female in there. The male will switch back and forth chasing them, gives them a chance to rest and recuperate, and they stay healthier that way. They will, again, carry the eggs. They'll be fertilized in the stomach after a roughly 30-day gestation period. They will hatch inside of the mom, and then the mom will give birth to them. So, pretty straightforward, and you can see that we have all sorts of variations of them. I can't, where, there you are. That one's got a white stripe, that one's got a white mouth, that one's got a white belly. So, I mean, you can play with the color variations as well. If there's a very specific trait that you want, like there's another one that we're actually going to probably breed out with another male that's similar to that. You can breed trait specifics. So if you see something that you really, really like, and you see 2 that are very similar in design, you can pull them out, stick them with a male that's close to the same design, let them breed. Once they breed, let them grow up, and then again, you can pick the traits that you want the best, and you can have selective breeding to modify their appearance a little bit. And that's something that we're going to do, because we have a couple of the white stripes there together actually, and that's something that I think is really cool, and yeah, we'll go from there. But there's another one that's got the white stripe, the prominent white stripe in it. But as they get older, they will change. The females get to be relatively large, the males get to be relatively large, and you can see our Kuhaku swords are over here, which these guys are getting moved pretty soon. There's 2 females, there's my males. So you can see the sword, just as an example. There's this guy's got a nice, beautiful sword on him. That's a male. When they have that super long swordtail fin comes out, that's why they're called sword fins, swordtails. They have that beautiful long swordtail. That's a male, whereas the other ones are females. And these guys have not bred yet because they're in a smaller tank. They don't have a whole lot of room to move around. These guys are getting moved into a much larger tank this week, in probably in a couple days, if not tonight, tomorrow, sometime like that. So they will have a chance to breed. But I'll give you an overhead view if I can get rid of that glare. Beautiful swordtail on him. Beautiful sword. So you can see the difference between a male and a female. The males will have that super long sword. It takes them a while to grow it out. Females will not have that. And they'll also have that gravid spot as well, whereas the males don't. Put them together, 2 females to 1 male. Do a water change, water temperature just a little bit cooler. Again, I'm a huge believer in that, and some people will disagree. You don't want to drop it too much, but just enough where it's a noticeable change in the water temperature. We usually keep the swords between 77 and 78 to 79, depending on what's going on. And we have hard water. I mean, that's what the long and short of it. So these guys are doing extremely well in hard water. We don't have anything set up in terms of RO units yet, which we're going to get into for Caridina shrimp, but this is straight tap water right out of the faucet into the tank on all of our tanks. We don't do any type of chemical balance or anything like that. So, pretty straightforward stuff. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the box below. As always, we are open to suggestions. If you haven't already, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Let's get some more people in the fish keeping hobby. And as always, happy fish keeping.